The Galactic Council convenes in the Grand Chamber suspended within the heart of the ancient Xanthic space station, a structure older than many of the species that fill the galaxy. The members gather their representatives from distant star systems, each species unique in form, and thought, all united by a single purpose to maintain the delicate balance of peace across the stars. Today, however, there is no calm in the chamber, no peaceful discourse. Instead, there is an air of tension as a decision is made to declare war on humanity for the first time in history. An entire species is deemed dangerous by the galactic powers. The Council has spoken, and their verdict is as swift as it is final. Humanity must be stopped before it can destabilize everything they have built. The reasons for the decision are many: humanity's rapid expansion beyond its home system, the rapid rise in technological innovation, the aggressive exploration of deep space, and most alarming, their growing ability to manipulate the very fabric of the universe itself. The Council fears that if left unchecked, humans will upset the fragile balance they have carefully nurtured for eons. The members speak of humanity as though they were a growing storm, a force of nature that cannot be ignored. Their eyes narrow in judgment and resolve. Humanity has become too powerful to ignore, and thus it is decided they must be brought into line with the rest of the galaxy. At the moment the declaration is made, the leaders of humanity are sitting quietly on Earth itself. Their representatives are calm. There is no panic, no outrage. They listen carefully to the words that come from the other side of the stars, and they respond not with fury or fear, but with an almost unsettling indifference. Earth's governments immediately acknowledge the declaration, but do so without the panic the Council expects. The response is measured and calm, as though they have already anticipated this move. As news of the Council's decree spreads throughout human space, there is no sense of urgency, no frenzied preparation. Instead, humans go about their daily lives unaffected by the storm raging across the galaxy. On Earth, families sit down for dinner, soldiers return home from training, civilians talk of upcoming vacations, and athletes prepare for competitions. The airwaves and screens are filled with discussions about the latest advancements in technology, entertainment, and science. There are no frantic headlines about war, no rallies in the streets, no declarations of unity. Instead, the public consumes the news with the same interest they would for a new entertainment release or a celebrity scandal. Their leaders take their time. No military mobilizations, no emergency meetings, no secret plans for war are put into action. They don't hurry, they don't flinch. Earth remains eerily calm in the face of the galactic superpower's most dire threat. As for the military, it too acts in an almost detached manner. Their forces are quietly positioned in the background, but there is no sense of impending war, nothing that suggests the world is on the brink of destruction. They prepare not because they fear the Council, but because they know something that the Council does not. Humans are always prepared and always waiting for the right moment to act, and right now humanity simply isn't concerned with what the galaxy has planned for them. The message from Earth is clear: we will be ready when we need to be, but for now we're just fine, and we'll let the stars wait. As the news of the Galactic Council's declaration spreads across human colonies, the reactions continue to defy expectations. The Council's fleets begin to assemble in the outer reaches of human space, but there is no sign of panic or urgency on Earth or any of its colonies. People go about their business as usual in their cities, on the Moon, in the terraformed deserts of Mars, and even in the floating habitats of Venus. There's no rush to take up arms, no mass mobilization of troops, nor frantic preparations for war. Instead, humans take a collective breath and wait for the next move. The interstellar news channels buzz with the story, but they report it with a strange sense of detachment. The situation is being covered with the same enthusiasm as a political scandal or a new scientific discovery. It's as if humanity is watching the announcement of a reality TV show where the stakes couldn't possibly be lower. From the outside, it looks like the Earth simply does not care about the galactic powers marching toward them. There is no tension in the air, no great sense of worry. Instead, there's a strange quiet that falls over the planet as the Galactic Council prepares its next move to enforce their declaration of war. Human space remains eerily still despite the overwhelming odds. The citizens of Earth are calm and confident. Their governments do nothing extraordinary. There are no emergency measures or lockdowns. The President of the United States addresses the world with a simple message reassuring humanity that everything is under control. He speaks in the same tone he would if announcing a routine policy change or a new space exploration initiative. There is no sign of distress in his voice, no sign of concern. He even goes as far as to express excitement about the prospect of finally meeting some new species from the far reaches of the galaxy, a subtle but clear message to the rest of humanity that the threat posed by the Galactic Council is not something to fear, but something to approach with curiosity. There's a quiet confidence that grows across the planet, and it spreads through the colonies too. The people who once worried about alien invasions, about the possibility of war, now look at the stars and see only opportunity. The Galactic Council may have the power to send fleets across the void, but humanity has something far more powerful: its ability to adapt and evolve at an astonishing pace, and the resources to back it up. On Earth, the military quietly goes through the motions of its usual defense drills, while experts in various fields, from physics to engineering, begin to make their own preparations behind closed doors. They are not panicking. They are planning. They know the Council might not be prepared for what humanity has in store, and their work continues without interruption or excessive secrecy. They have no fear. They know the Council cannot begin to understand how quickly humans can move when necessary. It's not about fighting a war. It's about showing the galaxy that humans are not a threat in the way they think, but rather a force of nature capable of reshaping the stars themselves. As the Council's fleets edge closer to Earth, humanity remains unmoved. Their ships don't even appear on long-range sensors yet, but humans are quietly taking notice of every move the Council makes, and while the galactic powers prepare for conflict, Earth remains locked in a deep sense of calm, knowing that they have always been ready for this moment long before the Council even understood the game they had started to play. The storm is coming, but humanity is in no rush to meet it. The first true confrontation between humanity and the Galactic Council comes when the Council's flagship emerges from the warp gate into Earth's solar system. The immense ship, the Zephyron, looms in orbit above Earth, its hull covered in strange metallic alloys that hum with unknown energy. It is surrounded by a fleet of warships from the various Council species, each ship a weapon forged in the crucible of countless battles across the stars. They had traveled across the galaxy with the single mission to confront humanity, to end the growing threat before it could become insurmountable. The first message sent to Earth is one of absolute authority and unyielding dominance. The voice of the Council echoes through the comm channels, a deep, resonant tone filled with command and control. They demand humanity's immediate surrender and pledge to abide by the terms of the Galactic Council's peace treaty. Their demands are simple but overwhelming: disarmament, cessation of all expansion beyond Earth's solar system, and acceptance of galactic law. On Earth, the news is met with quiet amusement rather than fear. Military leaders exchange glances, but their demeanor is one of calm resolve. There are no signs of panic from the public, no mass hysteria, only the hum of daily life continuing unchanged across the world. Citizens watch the broadcast with passive interest, as though they were watching the final act of a play. In response to the message, Earth sends only a simple reply. Nothing more than a signal transmitted back into space. It is not a rejection, nor a negotiation. It is simply an acknowledgement of the Council's demands with a single word: understood. The fleet's commanders, expecting a swift capitulation, are taken aback by the response. They were prepared for desperation, for negotiations, or even for defiance. But this response is entirely unexpected. Earth is acting as if the Council's declaration was no more important than an ordinary diplomatic missive, as if the fate of the galaxy were something far less important than they believed. As the Council waits for humanity's next move, their forces remain in orbit, ready to strike. The Zephyron's captain, an imposing figure from a race known for their cunning and tactical brilliance, orders a series of tests to ensure their weaponry is fully functional. They begin preparations for a show of force, a demonstration that will leave no doubt in humanity's mind about the seriousness of the situation. But the longer they wait, the more they begin to question the quiet resistance they encounter. There is no message of surrender, no signs of panic from human communications. The vast majority of Earth's military fleet remains hidden in deep space, their locations unknown to the Council's sensors. Then, unexpectedly, the first wave of Earth's defense ships emerges from the shadow of Mars. Not a single ship appears to be of the same design. Some are sleek and angular, others appear to be repurposed civilian ships retrofitted for war. Each one is a marvel of human ingenuity. Every ship seems to operate with a level of precision and coordination far beyond the Council's expectations. It is clear now that humanity has not been idle, nor has it been intimidated. Instead, Earth has been preparing for this moment in secret for decades. The human fleet does not make any aggressive moves. Instead, they hold position at the outer edges of Earth's orbit. Their weapons are powered but not fired. There is a sense of patience in the air, as though they are waiting for something from the Council, perhaps for them to make the first move. It is an unsettling calm that hangs in the balance, one that suggests not a battle is coming, but a challenge unlike anything the Council had anticipated. The message from Earth is clear. Humanity does not fear the galaxy nor its greatest powers. They are not yet ready to engage in a fight, but they will defend their home with a force unlike any the stars have seen before. They will not submit, and they will not retreat. The Galactic Council, stunned by the unexpected calm, waits for humanity to make its next move. The Zephyrin's captain stands at the helm, watching the array of human ships hovering in silent formation around Earth's orbit. There is an eerie stillness as the fleet of Council vessels remains in position, weapons ready, yet unsure of how to proceed. The humans have not attacked, nor have they shown signs of submission. They simply wait, their response an unsettling quiet that no one in the galaxy had predicted. The captain of the Zephyrin hesitates. His fleet, formidable and vast, stands poised to strike, but for some reason, it feels wrong. Every strategy, every contingency plan they had prepared assumed a certain reaction from humanity: desperation, panic, or at the very least, an attempt at diplomacy. What they had not accounted for was this profound indifference. The humans had not flinched. They had not surrendered. They had simply waited. The captain orders his fleet to advance, but even as the order is given, there's a sense of hesitation in the air, a feeling that they have underestimated their enemies in ways too deep to measure. The first move comes not from the humans, but from the Zephyrin itself. A volley of energy blasts is fired, aimed directly at the human fleet's outer perimeter. The Council expects to see Earth's defenses flare up, shields shimmering into existence as they absorb the powerful blast. But what they see instead is something far more extraordinary. The energy blasts, designed to incapacitate any defense system, simply dissipate. Not a single human ship's shields flicker. Not a single vessel seems to be affected in the slightest. The Zephyrin's captain orders another strike. This time, the Council unleashes a barrage of missiles, sleek, fast, and devastating. They are meant to pierce even the toughest armor, to tear through any defense humanity might have. As they streak toward Earth's ships, something even more baffling happens. The missiles veer off course, as though guided by some unseen force, and explode harmlessly in deep space, far from their intended target. The human ships do not move. They do not fire back. They do not even flinch. On Earth, the military monitors the situation from their command centers, watching the events unfold with calm precision. No orders are given to retaliate. No troops are mobilized. There is no need. The humans have been ready for this moment, but not in the way the Council expected. Instead of fighting back with brute force, humanity's response is tactical, an overwhelming strategic mastery that refuses to engage directly with the enemy's superior strength. They are not acting out of fear or bravado, but with the quiet assurance that they do not need to. The Council's fleets continue to circle, unsure of what to do next. Their weapons have proven ineffective, and their tactics are failing. Still, they do not retreat. They cannot. Retreat would be a sign of weakness, something that the Council's pride cannot allow. Instead, they try something different. They begin broadcasting psychological warfare messages. Threats designed to sow fear, broadcasts filled with the stories of the Council's past victories over rebellious worlds. They speak of how they crushed entire civilizations, how they wiped species from existence, how they controlled the galaxy with iron fists. But again, humanity does not respond in kind. Instead, Earth's media outlets begin airing a different kind of message. Calm interviews with experts, reassurances from leaders, and reports on the growing interest in human art, music, and scientific achievements. The tone of the broadcast is one of civility and quiet confidence, almost as if the human race is reassuring itself that the situation is under control. It's as though they are showing the galaxy that they are more than capable of defending themselves without resorting to fear or violence. The Council fleet is left in a state of confusion. They have done everything they know how to do. Unleashed their most devastating attacks, broadcast their most terrifying threats, and yet the humans continue to act as if the war were nothing more than an inconvenient distraction. The fear that the Council had expected from humanity is not there. Instead, there is only a strange, unsettling calm. The war, it seems, is not a war at all, but a test that the humans have already passed. The message from Earth is now clear. Humanity will not be intimidated. They will not bow to the Council's will. They do not fear the power of the galaxy's greatest fleets. In fact, they welcome the challenge. The question is no longer whether humanity will survive. It's whether the Galactic Council will ever understand what they are up against. The Galactic Council's leadership is in turmoil. The decision to engage humanity was supposed to be a swift and decisive victory, a warning to the rest of the galaxy. Yet, as their fleet floats above Earth, they find themselves caught in an unexpected quagmire. Their weapons have proven ineffective, their psychological tactics ignored. Humanity, against all odds, has not only held its ground but shown a level of ingenuity and resilience that has left the Council reeling. Now, they face a growing realization. Humanity is not a species to be cowed by fear. In fact, they are a species that thrives on challenge, and that challenge has only just begun. In the heart of the Council's flagship, the Zephyrin, the command center buzzes with activity. The captain of the Zephyrin, a highly decorated officer named Vral, paces in frustration. His orders were clear: break humanity, show them the might of the Council, force them to submit. But every move they make is countered with surprising precision. The human ships have not launched a full-scale attack, nor have they been forced into retreat. Instead, they have adapted in ways the Council cannot predict. It's as if they are playing a game of chess, waiting for the Council to make the wrong move. Vral knows something needs to change. He orders the fleet to shift into an offensive posture, hoping to catch the humans off guard. But even as he does, he knows this is a gamble. The more they push, the more humanity seems to bend without breaking. The humans have not shown signs of fear, but rather a patience that is unnerving. Still, the Council cannot allow such defiance to stand. Humanity must be shown that they are not the ones in control. Across the vast expanse of human space, the first human ships begin to move. They are not huge warships, nor are they overwhelming in number. But they are precise, and they are armed with weapons that no one in the galaxy has yet seen. Each human vessel is a unique marvel of engineering, a blend of civilian technology repurposed for war, yet their design speaks to something greater. Every ship is a testament to humanity's ability to adapt, innovate, and improvise. The Council's vast fleet may have the numbers, but the humans have something more powerful: creativity and resourcefulness in the face of impossible odds. At the edge of Earth's orbit, the human fleet engages the first wave of Council ships. Rather than attacking head-on, the humans begin to disrupt the enemy's technology in ways that leave the Council in awe and fear. Some ships disappear from the Council's sensors entirely, cloaked by technology so advanced that even the Zephyrin cannot track them. Others launch unexpected bursts of energy that disable the Council's weapon systems temporarily, rendering their massive ships helpless. It is a battle of wits, and the humans are clearly winning. The Council responds with all its might, sending drones and fighter crafts to overwhelm the human fleet, yet every move is met with swift counters. A drone meant to launch a barrage of missiles is hacked mid-flight, redirected back toward the Council's own lines, sending a ripple of panic through their ranks. The Zephyrin fires a salvo of plasma blasts toward one of the human ships, only for the blast to ricochet harmlessly off the ship's shields, and before they can recover, the ship is already gone, vanished into a fold in spacetime. The Council fleet, once poised and organized, is now in disarray. The sheer unpredictability of human tactics has thrown them off balance. Vral watches in disbelief as his once formidable fleet begins to fragment. His ships are now targeted individually, their defensive systems overwhelmed by waves of concentrated energy, disabling weapons and rendering their once fearsome firepower useless. The humans don't push for destruction. They push for disarmament, for incapacitation. Their strikes are surgical, designed not to destroy but to neutralize, to cripple the Council's ability to respond in kind. They are not just fighting a war. They are showing the galaxy that they are in complete control of their own destiny. The Council, stunned by the precision of the counterattack, begins to falter. The fleets that had once been so imposing are now scattered, reduced to mere shadows of their former might. The humans, with their improvisational brilliance and a resolve that does not waver, have made their message clear. The war has shifted from a battle for survival to a demonstration of power, human power. And with that, the Council knows the truth. Humanity is not just another species to be conquered. They are a force to be reckoned with, perhaps the greatest force the galaxy has ever seen. The Zephyrin drifts in silence above Earth, its once proud fleet now a scattered mess of debris and disabled warships. Captain Vral stands at the helm, staring out into the void. His mind is in turmoil, trying to comprehend the scale of the failure that has just unfolded before him. His once unshakable confidence has been shattered. The humans, a species so newly emerged on the galactic stage, have outmaneuvered them at every turn. It was supposed to be an easy conquest, an immediate display of power to remind the galaxy of the Council's dominance. Instead, humanity has turned the tables on them, revealing a level of innovation, tactical brilliance, and resourcefulness that was entirely unexpected. Vral's gaze is drawn to the holoscreen before him, displaying the status of his fleet. Several ships have been utterly disabled, their power cores drained, or their weapons systems completely offline. Others are drifting in space, their crews unable to repair their vessels, because the humans' attacks have targeted not only their technology, but the very essence of their operations. The human ships have been quick, efficient, and devastating in their precision. There is no chaos in the attack. It is cold, calculated, and, above all, intelligent. And for the first time since the Council's formation, Vral is forced to confront the painful truth. Humanity is not just another species to be subdued. They are a force to be reckoned with. Across the galaxy, the leaders of the Galactic Council convene, and for the first time, there is a palpable sense of doubt in the air. The Council had assumed that humanity would buckle under pressure, that they would panic and fall in line as so many other civilizations had before them. But they had been wrong. The human response has been nothing like anything they've faced. The technologies they've brought to bear, especially the sudden deployment of powerful energy manipulation and the ability to disrupt Council weapon systems, are unlike anything the Council had ever encountered. Humanity has shown itself to be adaptable, unpredictable, and above all, impossible to control. The Council's leaders begin to argue amongst themselves. Some advocate for a complete retreat, abandoning the war and allowing humanity to continue on its path of expansion. Others, still clinging to their sense of superiority, argue that they simply need more time to regroup, that humanity's resilience will eventually crumble under the weight of their might. But even as these voices argue, The atmosphere grows increasingly tense. The Council's unity is fracturing, as the realization spreads that this war may not be one they can win, not in the way they had hoped. On Earth, humanity watches the unfolding events with a mixture of quiet satisfaction and cautious vigilance. The victory thus far has been impressive, but no one is foolish enough to believe that the Council will simply give up. Behind closed doors, the military and scientific communities continue to prepare. They understand that this war is not just about defending Earth. It is about sending a message to the rest of the galaxy. Humanity has already demonstrated that it will not be bullied, but the ultimate goal is not just survival. It is to prove, once and for all, that humanity is no longer just a fledgling species in the galaxy. They are a new power, an undeniable force that can stand toe-to-toe with the most advanced civilizations in the known universe. But for now, Earth remains peaceful. The streets are calm, the skies free of the burning streaks of warfare. People continue with their lives as if the war were an inconvenience, rather than an existential threat. Military bases remain on high alert, but there is no sense of fear. There is no tension in the air, only the steady, quiet hum of confidence. Meanwhile, the Council scrambles to recover. Its fleets are in disarray, its strategies failing. The entire galaxy is watching, waiting to see if humanity will be allowed to continue its path to dominance, or if the Council will finally make a move that will break their will. As the Council debates its next step, one thing becomes clear. Humanity has already changed the rules of the game. The question now is not whether the war can be won, but whether the Council can ever hope to control a species like humanity. The stakes are no longer about victory in battle. They are about understanding what humanity has become, a force unlike any other. And for the first time in the Council's long history, they begin to understand that perhaps they were wrong to ever underestimate the human race. In the vast chambers of the Galactic Council, there is a growing sense of urgency. The situation with humanity has shifted from a minor annoyance to an existential crisis. No one had ever anticipated that the human species would be so resilient, so determined. Their unexpected counteroffensive, fueled by their ingenuity and technological leaps, has left the once mighty fleets of the Council disoriented and crippled. Now, the Council's top officials are grappling with a difficult decision, one that could have far-reaching consequences for the entire galaxy. Inside the Council Hall, the debate rages on. Some representatives from the older and more powerful species suggest an all-out assault, decisive, overwhelming, and swift. Their reasoning is clear. Humanity's defiance must be crushed before it spreads further, before it becomes something bigger than the galaxy's established order can handle. But others, especially the more cautious members, advocate for negotiation. They argue that humanity's response to the war so far suggests a different kind of strength, a strength that could be more dangerous if they allow it to grow unchecked. If they continue to force a war, they may push humanity to a point where their technological superiority becomes undeniable. Captain Vrel, standing in the middle of this debate, feels the weight of the Council's indecision on his shoulders. The fleet he commands is battered, its forces scattered, and despite his experience and the vast resources at his disposal, he knows that the next move is critical. The humans have already shown that they will not bend to intimidation or fear. Every attempt to weaken them has only strengthened their resolve. And now, with each passing day, humanity's technology continues to evolve in ways that baffle even the Council's most brilliant minds. Vrol has seen enough. The tactical advantage, as it stands, lies with humanity. Their ships may not be as numerous as the Council's, but they are adaptive, elusive, and most frightening of all, creative. He believes the time for another offensive has passed. Instead, they need a new strategy, one that acknowledges humanity's power while also attempting to understand it, to find common ground before they are faced with the choice of either annihilation or the collapse of the galactic order. As he steps out of the Council chambers, Vrol receives an encrypted transmission from Earth, an unexpected message from humanity's leadership. It is a formal request for peace talks. The message is simple, clear, and respectful, offering an olive branch amidst the turmoil. The request is not one of surrender, but of dialogue. The humans, it seems, are offering to discuss the future of their place in the galaxy. Vral reviews the message several times. It is not a trap. He knows humanity well enough by now to recognize that they would not waste time with deception. This is something different. The humans are offering a way forward, a path that could lead to cooperation rather than destruction. Back on Earth, the mood is still calm. The leaders of humanity do not act out of fear, but with an innate confidence. They have already won the war of perception. The galaxy's most powerful races, once united in their belief that humanity was an insignificant threat, are now reconsidering their entire approach. The message to the Council is deliberate, not aggressive. Humanity's leadership seeks to assert their place in the galaxy, not by brute force, but through understanding and mutual respect. The offer is clear. Humanity is willing to negotiate, to discuss their future with the Galactic Council, provided that their sovereignty is respected. They want peace, not dominance, but they will not accept subjugation. They will not bow to a galactic order that sees them as inferior. The question now is whether the Council will recognize humanity's strength and maturity, or whether they will stubbornly insist on their old ways. Vral's hands hover over the console as he contemplates the future. His fleet, once the most feared in the galaxy, has failed. His people, like many others in the galaxy, have underestimated humanity. But now, for the first time, it seems possible that a new chapter in galactic history could be written. The question is no longer about whether humanity will survive. It is whether the Council will accept them as equals or force them into a battle that could consume everything. Vral makes his decision. The war has reached its turning point, and he knows that the next move will shape the fate of the entire galaxy. Peace is possible, but only if the Council is willing to meet humanity halfway. The era of unquestioned authority, it seems, is coming to an end. The atmosphere in the Galactic Council chamber is tense, charged with a mixture of apprehension and uncertainty. Representatives from countless star systems, species, and factions sit in silent anticipation, waiting for the final decision. The news has already spread throughout the galaxy. The message from Earth, the offer for peace, and the unprecedented willingness of humanity to negotiate on equal terms with the greatest powers in the known universe. It is a moment of profound significance, one that will forever change the trajectory of galactic history. Captain Vral, now returned to the heart of the Council's command, stands before the assembly. His once proud fleet is no longer a symbol of power, it is a reminder of the Council's failure. The humans, with their unconventional tactics, their technological ingenuity, and their unwillingness to yield, have forced the Council to rethink everything they thought they knew about strength and dominance. And now, Vral knows they must make a choice: to continue the war, risking annihilation and incalculable loss, or to embrace the possibility of a new future, one in which humanity is not a mere footnote, but an equal player on the galactic stage. Vral's voice rings out in the chamber, steady and clear. He speaks not only for himself, but for those who have come to understand the depths of humanity's potential. The time has come to choose, he says. We have seen what humanity is capable of. They have proven that they are not to be underestimated. We have fought them. We have attempted to subdue them, but we have failed. This war has shown us that our old ways are no longer effective. It is time to offer humanity the respect they deserve, not as subordinates, but as equals. For a moment, there is silence, a stillness that holds the galaxy's collective breath. Representatives from various factions exchange wary glances. Some still cling to the old order, unwilling to relinquish their sense of superiority. But slowly, one by one, those who have seen the writing on the wall begin to speak in favor of peace. The oldest races, the most entrenched powers in the galaxy, begin to grudgingly acknowledge that humanity has earned its place at the table. And surprisingly, Even some of the more aggressive factions, who had once supported the war effort, now concede that the cost of continuing the conflict would be too high. The final vote is called. A soft hum fills the chamber as the representatives cast their votes, each one recorded for all to see. It is not unanimous, but it is overwhelming. The Council has decided that humanity will be recognized as a legitimate member of the galactic community, with full sovereignty over their home systems and the right to engage in interstellar diplomacy on their own terms. There will be no subjugation, no forced submission. Humanity will be allowed to chart its own course, free from the Council's influence. On Earth, the announcement is met with quiet triumph, not celebration. The people of Earth knew that this moment would come. They had prepared for it in ways that were not always visible, but it was always part of the plan. For decades, humanity had quietly built itself into something far more formidable than anyone in the galaxy had anticipated. And now, after surviving the Council's attempt to crush them, they had emerged not as conquerors, but as equals, respected for their abilities and their resolve. But Earth's leaders know this is only the beginning. The galaxy is vast, and there are countless challenges ahead. Humanity will now need to forge new alliances, navigate complex politics, and ensure that their newfound status is not just a victory on paper, but a lasting reality. But for the first time, there is no fear in their hearts. They have proven to themselves and to the galaxy that they are capable of anything. As Captain Vrall watches the events unfold from his command station aboard the Zephyrin, he feels a quiet respect for humanity growing within him. The war has ended, but the real challenge is just beginning. There will be no more underestimating the humans. They have already reshaped the galaxy, and now the Council must come to terms with the fact that the balance of power has irrevocably shifted. The galaxy, once dominated by the Council, is now a different place, a place where humanity, against all odds, has found its place, not as a subordinate, but as a peer. And as the stars burn brightly above Earth, a new era dawns, an era where the future is no longer written in the ancient scripts of the Council, but in the hands of those who dared to dream of something more. Humanity has arrived, and the galaxy will never be the same again.